Esther Diana, KTN, Nairobi.
Patients diagnosed with autoimmune disorders are permanently scarred by the aura of their bodies attacking themselves. And as if that is not enough, the financial burden that comes with managing these conditions is extremely high. On this episode of Health Digest, we unpack the rising cost of care for these patients and how, for many who suffer from them, the struggle to live is a double tragedy. Here's Gloria Milimo with more.
Healthcare costs can add up quickly, especially when one has a condition that truly never goes away. Such is the case for 32-year-old Peris Ndolele, a resident of Kasarani Estate in Nairobi County. She is just one among the many who live with a debilitating condition that occurs when the body's natural defense system is unable to distinguish between one's own cells and foreign ones, prompting it to mistakenly attack normal cells. For Ndolele, the raging war within her body has been taking a toll on her since 2024 when she was diagnosed with lupus, a condition that makes her immune system damage organs and tissue throughout her body.
I was put on medication for 2 months. Before that, I had my face started changing, the same as the weight loss, the appetite as well.
One of the greatest hurdles faced by patients like Ndolele is continuity of care due to financial constraints. For her, the cost of care since her diagnosis has increased steadily, leaving her raking up huge bills as she explores treatment options.
When I was admitted, some of my relatives came in. They contributed because now when the money in the insurance had finished, the bill had gone to almost 3 million. So they contributed the other amount.
Although she is on medication, she is yet to receive a vital jab that could mean the difference between slowing down the progress of the autoimmune disease and her immune system spiraling out of control.
When I was in hospital, I was injected one injection. So I was supposed to take another injection after a month, which have not raised the money because one injection cost almost 350,000.
Tulichanga hiyo ya kwanza. Sasa hii ya pili hata angekuwa amedungwa, lakini sasa hatujapata hiyo pesa. Tumejaribu, hata sasa hii mama anatembeza proforma nyumbani.
Insurance policies haven't made it any easier for patients like Ndolele, making the management of the disease a costly affair. This in turn limits their care options, which unfairly disadvantages them a lot. For instance, in a month, a person diagnosed with autoimmune disease incurs costs of up to 100,000 shillings for medications to regulate the response of the immune system. Another 350,000 shillings for medications said to prevent flare-ups, and another 70,000 shillings for speech therapy drugs to manage slurring. Additionally, they often require to undergo numerous tests such as MRIs that are costly. Cumulatively, they can part with between 400,000 and 1 million shillings in treatment costs alone. Whereas the launch of the new social health scheme, the Social Health Insurance Fund, managed by the Social Health Authority, is meant to shoulder the burden of care for patients like Ndolele, more often than not, they find themselves stranded, not knowing how to go about accessing subsequent care using the scheme. In most cases, it leaves them scampering for funds to pay for medical costs that ordinarily would have been catered for if prior discussion with their doctor is done to facilitate a pre-authorization. Whereas one would argue that cost is a huge barrier to treatment, for patients like Ndulele diagnosed with autoimmune disease, this yoke is often doubled as they have to deal with the disease itself, while at the same time shouldering the immense financial burden that comes with it.
For now, I'm frustrated because friends, family, they have to chip in. We have to do Arambe because now I don't have the same amount.
They say that patients who are diagnosed early with the disease and get appropriate treatment are less likely to experience life-altering conditions and may require less expensive therapies, which are often effective in the early window. But more often than not, patients like Ndulele are misdiagnosed and treated for other conditions before doctors eventually nail a diagnosis. Whereas there are over 80 types of autoimmune diseases, there is no single test for them because the range of symptoms looks a lot like those of other medical conditions. Autoimmune diseases are increasingly becoming a public health crisis and a significant portion of the rising cost of healthcare. There is need to address issues around the cost of managing them in order to facilitate continuity of care for patients like Ndulele, as well as sensitize patients on how to navigate use of SHA to cater for treatment costs. Gloria Milimu, KTN.